Hello, Magic Kaiba, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I will check out your PP. Your PP being your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your commander deck, the fever dream that inspired it, the over-the-top game-winning action that you hope to achieve, or, the general flow. Your practicum is the horseshit you actually put in it. It's your 99, it's did you put in enough lands? Do you have removal? Do you have protection? Do you have enough of the cards that are in your fever dream to actually achieve those sweet, sweet night sweats? So we're going to start with the idea and whether or not it can work in this person's intended bracket, and then we're going to move into the cards they actually picked and see what problems are there. So this is Zabaz. We're doing Zabaz the Glimmer Wasp, who is Boros because of those activated abilities in his text box, and it gives you more counters for modular triggered abilities. Modular is the 0 power creatures that enter with counters on them. And when you die, or when they die, they can move those counters to a different artifact creature. So the primer talks about we were doing Voltron, wasn't working at all. We've pivoted into a little bit more of a control-y deck, where Zabaz is our eventual finisher, but we just kept getting kicked in the head so often that we moved away from Voltron. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think the most compelling point to not run Voltron in bracket 2 is some people can get really salty about getting kicked out of the game first. I disagree with those people. I think it is a much more interesting dynamic if you're having individual players eliminated before the game is all over. But I do know that if you're playing in an LGS, like casual Commander Night or something, it logistically can be very annoying because then you have the dead people just like, because I'm gonna chill on my phone, doom scroll Instagram. I didn't bring fucking homework. So I'm sympathetic to that. So if those are a lot of your play groups, then maybe you do lean more into this like grindy plan. But dog, you have a flying 1 drop. You can kill people quickly. I believe in you. The main issue is going to be making all of his power and toughness come from modular. Because Boros is really good at buffing power. It's really good at doing double strike. It's really good at a million different artifact strategies. But modular is much more about establishing sacrifice and recursion loops. So this is probably the mental thing that we have to split apart in your head. You're thinking of it as a Voltron deck, and presumably the first time around, you put all this Voltron stuff in, and you're like, modular is part of that Voltron strategy because it puts counters on. Not. Modular is part of a sacrifice recursion loop strategy, and Voltron just happens to be an output of it. Right? Like you're not a Voltron factory. You are a factory that crushes metal cans down and puts those big dense metal blocks as the output, and it just so happens that the dense metal block is going to fall on somebody and kill them. But that's unrelated to what you're doing. So if we really want modular to feel like the flavor of the deck, we need probably a few more modular creatures. I know you trimmed them back because they weren't working, but we need a few more modular creatures. And then what we want to worry about is, do I have sacrifice outlets that are going to be meaningful to me? Do I have ways to kill these guys that are going to be genuinely helpful to my game plan? And then how do I bring them back quickly enough that I'm stacking up a lot of counters on Zabaz really quickly? The way this deck should operate in my mind is Zabaz should not be doing too much early on. He is a sack outlet. That's actually sick as fuck. So we can have a few of the best sacrifice outlets, but like most of the time, Zabaz can just be, hey, for 1 red mana, I'm going to destroy one of my own artifacts, by the way. And you should not be putting the counters on him early. He should be your last stop for the counters when you have enough to deal a shitload of damage to somebody. I could imagine that you were having a ton of problems if you were trying to go, all right, turn 1 Zabaz, turn 2 modular creature, turn 3 shoot that guy. Zabaz is now a 3/3. Play another modular creature. Shoot that guy. Zabaz is now a 5/5. You're giving your opponents a lot of time to worry about you more than they should. This strategy is serviceable. It's not crazy powerful. People just get scared about commander damage because they're bad at counting past 10. So the way it's going to work is if you have like, hey, Esper Sentinel on field, guess what? The modular counters are moving to him first. That might not feel great to you. I get it. But it's going to be more valuable, or moving to Giggling Skitterspike at first. And this is all while you buy time to establish your recursion loop. Sick, dude. Very chill. Very, very chill combo. What I actually would want is for the deck to be more like this. Not as powerful, but very few things are as powerful as Clark Clan Ironworks. But what you do want is more stuff where it's like every turn I get a guy back and I kill him for something. And then like I'm gonna put those counters on an artifact creature. And you're gonna slowly but surely build them up on modular creatures most of the time. And then eventually they will go to Zabaz and you will hit somebody in the air for like 30 fucking damage. Um so let's think about how that has to happen. Boros is good at recursion. Another important thing to internalize if you're playing a Boros deck is if we liken you to a business. I know I did the factory metaphor already, but if we liken you to a business, you are fast food. You are Taco Bell. You are McDonald's. Not in the stuff you produce, but when you think about the workers, you want shitty, cheap, and weak creatures with a pretty high turnover. It's okay if they die because they're coming back again. The only other flavor of Boros is really like tokens or Spellslinger. But for what we're doing, we really, really want to just never run out of bodies. And we don't need a million bodies, but we want like 1 or 2 bodies every turn, forever. Let's see what other pieces we have. I like that you do have removal. That's very chill and cool of you. And we have obviously Together Forever, but we don't have like, we have Sun Titan. Hell no. I think we should have Sun Titan. I see you have Savine's Reclamation in the sideboard. I think this was a good thought. And I think the thing we need to build is a bit of a creature toolbox where a lot of our stuff is modular and a lot of our stuff is meant to buff our commander. And then a lot of stuff will just have like a good ETB we can use to slow other people down, to defend ourselves, whether that is defending our commander, whether that is defending our life total, whatever. Because there's other stuff. Oh, what's this fucker's name? Kami. I swear to God, it's a Kami. Color. You're white. A Kami of False Hope. Boros has fog loops. Isn't that fun? And you don't have to run this creature specifically, but this is the energy you need to be on. You don't need to be on... I like double dipping. That's cute. I like Return to the Ranks. That's cute. But I don't think we have to be on this sort of like bad Voltron-y strategy where we're trying to just like, how many different things can I do that will put one counter on him, one thing at a time? Zabaz is the inevitability. He's not the face of the deck. He's not the like the big forward focus. If you want him to be the big forward focus, you probably just have to run like head empty Voltron and accept that you're going to get blown out a lot of the time. So you have Savine's Reclamation, we have Sun Titan. Grab Trawler seems like it would be pretty goddamn good. I think we have a decent spread of these Arcbound creatures. So we have from 1 to 4. That's pretty okay. We don't really need Karmic Guide, but it could be a part of the eventual thing I'm thinking of. What I'm thinking of is white, really good at getting back things that have mana value 3 or less, or power 3 or less. So that's kind of where my head's at right now. Oh, Karmic Guide would actually be sick as fuck with Felden. Because then you could use Felden to make the ephemeral copy of Karmic Guide, bring back an important thing, a modular thing, that you sacrifice with Zabaz. You could do Duretti, but Planeswalkers are pretty hard to protect, even at the best of times. Oh, Tishar, bro. Tishar! Artifacts are historic spells! Sorry, I got a little bit too excited. But this is what I think you should be on. You should be on a lot of stuff where, whether on enter or on leave, they get to do something valuable. And I'm not going to try to draw a million cards because Boros, they're getting a lot better at it than they once were, but they're still not great at it. And I'm not going to try to speed run dropping counters onto Zabaz because outside of just putting in a bunch of infinite or near infinite combo loops, you're not going to get it going fast enough to outpace other people's ability to interrupt you. You just want them to feel like you want the table to feel like they're fighting black mold. You want them to feel like, God, we kept removing the Voltron shit and it just wouldn't stop coming back. And then what that means is we can get a little bit greedier with the rest of the deck. I was gonna say with our protection, but you already are on bare minimum of protection, so never mind. um, but we can run some more stuff that either does board wide protection, or because you have all this recursion, it will hurt less to get board wiped. Because if you have Tashar in hand, you get board wiped, you play Tashar, and then all of your artifacts, all your other legendaries are going to bring back the things that got board wiped. Another thing you're definitely missing, Ascend from Avernus, because you can get a lot of stuff back at like 5 mana. Every creature with 2 or less comes back, you're decently happy. 3 or less comes back, holy shit. 4 or less, you're busting at the table. So you can keep going through the rest of this OTAG yourself to find other really good hits. There is Ascend from Avernus. But the thing we need to pair with this is ETB and sacrifice options that will double as removal, protection, other important types of interaction. Oh, like Raise the Past. This can also do it. So what cheap historic stuff can we do that will double as interaction? I think a good one. Look at this guy. He is historic. He cares about having stuff in his graveyard. We're probably not going to escape very often, but it's going to give us a little bit of life. And 3 damage to any target is more meaningful than you think. Many, many, many commander decks are now predicated upon the cheap value creature. Think about your Llanowar Elves, your Badger Mole Cubs, your Goblin Electromancers, your Goblin Anarchomancers, your Esper Sentinels. Like there are so many things where they want to just keep around a guy. Jolly Balloon Man's a little bit outside of it. Good for him. Like Goblin Engineer, Goblin Welder, Felden, all of these very important things that accrue value turn over turn over turn. And you don't really want to spend like swords to plowshares on this guy, but you do want some way to remove him. Flam and Flage over and over and over again is the way to get that job done. And then other stuff. We want to think about Cathar Commando. Not historic. We don't want too many of these because a lot of our recursion is going to be best when it can target historic stuff, like we saw with the Shar, or when it's an artifact, like we saw with Scrap Trawler. But anything that is cheap, because Raise the Past hits this, Ascend from Avernus hits this. You can get rid of artifacts or enchantments. That's how we get that value grind type of gameplay out of that value grind gameplay going. So let's go to the tag. Let's go spot removal. And then let's go type. I wonder if I can search historic on here. No, I can't. Creature. We're going to have to go to advanced to get the syntax right for this. So I want things that are creatures or artifacts. Allow partial. I want commander. I want mana value less than or equal to 3. And now we are going to go OTAG. Spot removal. The Lord of the Third Path, phenomenal. Skyclave Apparition, also phenomenal. Lord of the Third Path, also historic, will work with the other thing you're trying to do. Pashalik Mons fucking sucks. I don't think we want Dauntless Dismantler because we're going to be the people with the most fucking artifacts. You could do stuff like Fiend Hunter, which just exiles under it until it comes back. It's a good way to stall people if you just need a couple turns. Oh, Chainsaw, bro. Holy shit. Wait a minute. Dude, imagine Zabaz with a chainsaw. Come on. I know you like that. I know you're feeling it in a nasty, silly kind of way that is chicken soup for your bone marrow. And it's an artifact, so it'll trigger all our historic stuff. It's an artifact we can bring back with something like Scrap Trawler with Tashar. Wait, no, I think Tashar hits creatures. With Sun Titan, it fits into this plan of I'm gonna just bring all my shit back over and over and over again. It's gonna hit those value creatures. When you're killing your own modular creatures, it will get rev counters, and you can eventually put them on your commander to get the Voltron kill there. Mm. Johnny's actually evil, but I don't think we have enough red permanents to make this work, and we're not doing cats. But Johnny's a very, very evil card. This is too expensive, but is the type of thing we want. God, Star Athlete's really cute. He's a really bad card, but he's really, really cute. Hopeful Initiate's pretty cute. Stadium Headliner's pretty cute. I don't love either of these two. Boros Reckoner's pretty fucking funny as a one-off. Dawnbringer Cleric is one of those, like, it never seems that impressive, but if you deal with a lot of enchantment players, deal with a lot of reanimator players, it can hit both of those strategies. This is, if you wanted to do bad cards that don't see much play, being able to tap somebody's big threat is so much better than people give it credit for. It gets hard when you deal with people that have hexproof strategies that, you know, they're doing Voltron and they're often protecting their creature from interaction. But it is pretty goddamn funny. Dude, transmogrifying wand, 30 cents, dog shit. However, recurable artifact that we can tap to shoot a problem. Only as a sorcery, a lot of problems with it. Perfect for bracket 2. Westfold Rider is another one of those Cathar Commander type things. We talked about Flage already. Pyrite Spellbomb's really fucking, really bad and dumb. But if you do get the recursion game plan going, can be shockingly good because it's a clue every turn, or it's a shock to one important creature every turn. Bumbleflower Sharepot's a little bit better on the mana cost, but it's still wildly expensive. Duskrow's Reliquary is actually kind of huge for you because you can sack one of your own modular creatures as the cost, so you don't mind the cost too much. Very, very easy for you to recur, and then you don't have to pay the additional cost. Like, this is how we do it. And you don't have to cram it just chock full of removal. I'm just trying to show you all the good options. What you really want to have the most of is the recursion that cares about cheap stuff, recursion that cares about artifacts, even Court of Ardenvale. Even if you can't protect the monarchy all the time, just getting the cheap thing back to hand to reuse again, beautiful. And if you can protect the monarchy, maybe because you have a big flying creature at instant speed because you had some red mana, then getting them back to field and getting bargain bin Sun Titan is just huge. Yeah, a million ways to do it. Smile at Death could also be good for you down in bracket 2. Season of the Burrow, bring something back with an indestructible counter, remove stuff. Like, this is where we're at. And so you're not going to be like a cop. I really want to impress that upon you, because I'm talking about a lot of like removal and control interactions. The beauty of all of this is the whole time these interactions are going on, you're just going to be building up a big wasp. Your B drill is going to be in the back of the gym doing bench presses, brother. It's going to be great. It's very, very fun to play these types of reanimator decks. And so Fiddle, with the degree to which it is proactive and the degree to which it is reactive, but I would actually argue that like most everything from Make Bug Big probably go away. Most everything. Even like Faithless Looting, I think, go away. Trouble in Pairs is a good card. You keep every modular creature. Tutors are good. Not really convinced that you need to ramp that hard. What's your curve? Yeah, you don't need to. Stop the nonsense. Like if you love Soul Ring, I'm not gonna force you to cut it, even though I'm a hater. But I think this is like you're ramping because you don't know what else to do. Okay, we're doing a haste enabler. All right, all right, all right. I see it with dowsing device. I kind of see it with Mycosynth Wellspring, and I love deflecting palm. So this is the section that can definitely go. I think your removal, you can do a lot of 1-for-1 trades with the ETB sacrifice removal that I showed you, and that will probably get you enough room to give this a shot. The other things I would try for Stop Killing My Bug, instead of Gata and Luzu or Liberator, I would do Mother of Runes, Giver of Runes. It's just so much better. They're the premier stop shooting my guy options. Mother of Runes, Giver of Runes, and then Starfield Shepherd. Like this is the 4-card package every Voltron player wants to have strapped to their fucking thigh, because you have your 3 1-mana protectors, and then you have a thing you can warp in to get your 1-mana protectors or get your land drop if you really really need it. So if I've missed anything because I haven't built a modular deck myself in the past, please let me know in the comments. And to you, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope this helps.